Hey everybody, it's Tabetha from paintthroughit.com with another Wednesday art snack. Yay! So this month we are studying value and form in Paint Through It. And it's really much easier to understand either in black and white like this, or in just simplifying your palette. So this is a copy of one of my original oil paintings, and I think I just did this one. Actually, I probably did it in Payne's gray and white. And so I'm going to simplify this and duplicate it for you as an art exercise for you to learn about color value. So follow along if you want. Grab some paints. Grab white, black, and color of choice. I'm going to go with ultramarine blue. So here is one that I've already done. So it's really just sort of an orb hanging out, floating in the air with this abstract background. So, let me find a blank page, and actually I need a whole new journal. Or a whole different journal, anyway. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to squeeze out a little pile of each of these colors. And you notice that I have, or you may have noticed that I have 3 different brands of paint here, and one is more liquid in a bottle, and it's just because I'm not a paint snob. I do like to use the good quality ones, but I kind of use whatever's handy. All right, so I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to try using my big filbert brush. I definitely want this brush for this orb, but we'll see how it does with this cross-hatching. So I'm going to get my brush wet, dab it on my paper towel. And this is really, this background is whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be anything specific. I'm going to grab a little bit of black and a little bit of white. I like to grab both on my brush and just start painting. And I'm painting on paper right now, so it really just soaks up the paint. So I have to have a lot of water on there. Normally I would do this on canvas. So this is the fun part of, well, lots of parts are the fun parts of painting, but this is the part where you don't have to think about it so much when you're doing a background like this. You can just sort of check out. And I'm just slopping paint on there. I'm not worrying about how it looks. A lot of this is going to be covered. I just want to get some sort of a background on there. And if your paint is drying up too much, and if your paper's sucking the moisture out of the paint, just get your brush a little bit wet and go right back to your painting. All right. I think that's good enough for now. And the next thing I want to do is to start, and of course you can't see my hand, is to start on this orb. So let's see. What we can do with this. So I'm using this filbert brush because it's got this rounded edge on top as opposed to this flat brush. So the flat brush is great for square things, things with structure. And I could use it for this, but if I'm trying to go around this curve, it just doesn't fit as well as this nice rounded brush. So the right brush for the right job. I'm going to start with some white and see what happens. I'm imagining my light source coming in from the top left. So that's going to be the lightest value. So value is the lightness or darkness of a color. And we want the lightest value wherever the light is hitting it. Makes sense, right? So I'm just doing the top and left sort of half of this orb. I'm doing little brush strokes. And I'm going to take the tiniest bit of blue, and you can even mix it with some white first if you want to lighten that up a bit to get a lighter value, and start blending it in to that white. You got to make sure you don't take a break in between the white and the blue. That white needs to be pretty wet in order for this to work. And then I want a little slightly darker value of blue. And I'm just doing these back and forth brush strokes. But you can experiment with this and see what brush stroke you like. There's no right or wrong way to paint. Everyone approaches it differently, which is why there are a million different YouTube videos on things. You have to learn from someone that makes sense to you, someone that resonates with you, someone who you like, how they teach, how they paint, what they do. So I'm getting darker and darker as I go to this. I'm going to call it the dark side of the moon here. And just keep blending as you go. And see how slowly you can get from the white to the dark blue. And we're going to go a little bit further with this dark blue and add a little bit of black into it to make it really dark on this far edge. So take your time and just go right around there, right around that part of the circle, and start blending it in. Now, if you get too much dark paint on your brush, wipe it off on your towel. Maybe even give it a quick rinse, because you don't want to spread paint on my brush. And start blending this darker value into the slightly lighter value. I'll turn this light off, see if the glare goes away. Well, sort of. So the key to blending is keep all of the paint wet, everything you're blending from and to. So you can see it's not perfectly round, but it's really looking three-dimensional. And then I'm going to even try some straight black. Let's see how that looks. I don't know if I'll want to keep it Oh, that really added some dimension to it, didn't it? Now on this one, you can see I did some groovy spirals coming up towards the center, or radiating out from the center perhaps. So definitely experiment with that if you want. Whoops, I didn't want to get that black in the middle. Pay attention to what you've got on your paintbrush and where your paintbrush is going. So do a few of these and see where you want the brightest spot to be, and that's where you start. Maybe the light is coming directly from in front here. I don't know. That is up to you. And this background that I did is just so that there wasn't just this orb on the white paper. And it's also nice to warm up. And the background is really a nice warm up. It sort of gets you moving, gets your hands and arms and body in the flow of things before you have to start getting specific with things. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. And then sometimes you take it one stroke too far, and then you have to do a bunch more work to fix it. But what ends up happening more often than not, for me anyway, is it ends up looking better than it would have. And if nothing else, you gained experience when that happens. And sometimes you end up with more layers in your painting, and layers are really, really good. It makes your painting thicker, richer, more interesting, more dynamic. So I encourage you to try a few of these. Like I said, try different brush strokes, different colors, whatever you want. And if you wanted to, you could even put a little shadow someplace on the bottom. All right, don't like the shadow. It didn't look shadowy enough. You get the idea, though. If this were sitting on a flat surface, I'd put the shadow right at the bottom. But that's not my goal. I just want a groovy abstract painting here. So then once you're done, change it up however you want. Maybe it'll turn into something different. And that's all I got for you. That's all I got for you for today. So have fun, enjoy yourself. If you've done this exercise, please post it in the Paint Through It network so we can see And as always, let me know if you have any questions. All right. I'll see you soon. Bye.